third and the last part for the lecture on integumentary system. Now let's discuss the deeper layer, which is the dermis. The dermis is a connective tissue. Okay, ito siya. Here, the dermis is a connective tissue. And the cells of the dermis include your fibroblasts, your adipocytes, no, dito, and macrophages. The dermis contains the collagen, which is the main type of protein fiber of the extracellular matrix. But other fibers are also present, such as your reticular fibers and elastic fibers. Okay, it also contains your blood vessels, as you see in this picture, both your artery, your vein, and these blood vessels are for uh, nutrient and waste exchange, no? It supplies via your capillaries ito, nakita niyo ito, via your capillaries, it supplies nutrients and exchange waste uh, to the living cells of your epidermis. Now, it also contains your hair follicles, some smooth muscles, your glands, like for example, this one, your sebaceous glands, your sweat glands, over here, no? Sweat glands, sebaceous glands, and your lymphatic vessels. Now, it also contains nerve endings. So, the nerve endings that can be found in your dermis are your free nerve endings. And these are the one that senses the pain, itch, tickle, and temperature. Meron ding hair follicle receptors for light touch. Your Pacinian corpuscles are form of nerve endings that senses deep pressure. Your Meissner corpuscles detects simultaneous stimulation at 2 points on the skin, and your Ruffini end organs for sensing continuous touch or pressure. So there are two tissue layers in your dermis. These are your papillary layer and your reticular layer. The papillary layer is the superficial layer of your epidermis. Not this one. This one. Okay? And in this proportion, itong layer na to, papillary layer of your dermis. They have projections called your dermal papilla, no? That's why this is where the name itself, papillary, is derived because of your projections, no, called your papillae. And this papillae, no, under your thick skin, create ridges in your palms and soles, friction ridges in your palms and soles of your feet. So they are parallel and curving. Okay, these ridges create your unique fingerprints, no, in your palms and soles, and these are very unique even to identical twins, no, magkaiba pa rin yung kanilang fingerprints or footprints. And these ridges created by your papillae, they also improve the grip, no? Improve the grip of our hands, of our feet. Okay. Now, your papillary layer is a loose connective tissue with thin fibers that are somewhat loosely arranged, and they contain the blood vessels. So you see here, these are your blood vessels, and these blood vessels reach all the way, no, via your capillaries to the epidermal layer, and they are the ones that supply nutrients, oxygen to the cells of your epidermis, and they also exchange waste. And the blood vessels are also the ones responsible for temperature regulation of your skin. Now, the second layer is your reticular layer. This is the main layer of your dermis. and they are dense, irregular connective tissue. This is resistant to stretching in many directions. So medyo rigid, no? That's why it's dense connective tissue. The reticular layer is continuous with your subcutaneous fat, no? Sa ilalim niya is your adipose tissues already, your subcutaneous fat. And they form a mat of irregularly arranged fibers, okay? There are elastic and collagen fibers in your dermis, and they are oriented more in some directions than in others, no? And they produce cleavage, what we call cleavage lines, or what you call tension lines in the skin. This is what you see here, no? In certain parts of the body, they are oriented like this. Here, it's like that, the direction of your cleavage line. So what is the significance of knowing the cleavage line? So an incision parallel to your cleavage line, for example, nasugat ka dito, also in that direction, no? Pag ganun, wounds are less likely to gap, no? But if it's across, opposite in the direction of your cleavage lines, they will gap, no? And it would be difficult to heal. And kung ano din siya, for example, ito, no? It's less likely to gap, as you see in this picture. Pero kung opposite siya sa yung cleavage line, this is how it would look like. It would tend to gap, it would be difficult to heal, and this actually is prone to scar formation. So the surgeons know this. If they incise, no, for operation, they follow the direction of your cleavage line. Stretch marks are line of scar tissue visible through epidermis. This is due to a ruptured dermis, no, caused by an overstretched skin. Okay? So these develop in the skin of individuals who have experienced rapid growth, no? Pwedeng obesity, pwedeng yung woman who got pregnant, no? Or yung skin of athletes who have increased muscle size quickly with intensive training. Okay? Deep to your dermis is your subcutaneous tissue, no? Itong fats. And these are not part of the skin, okay? They are also known as hypodermis because they are underneath your dermis. And they consist of loose connective tissue with collagen and elastic fibers. So, itong adipose tissues mo or subcutaneous tissues, they attaches your skin to the muscle or bone underneath. Okay? And they also supply the skin with blood vessels and nerves. Ang function nila is to provide insulation, no? And padding. Kasi padding siya because underneath nandiyan na yung mga muscles, your bones, your internal organs, no? Your fat also is a source of energy, and they are the ones responsible for your body shape. Okay, some in women, no, we have certain areas that has high deposition of your adipose tissues. Okay, that's why we have more fats or adipose tissues in the breasts, sa waist, no, compared to men. Yung mga main types of cells in this area would be your fibroblasts. So aside from your adipocytes, no, your adipocytes, ito, you also have your fibroblasts and macrophages. And half of the stored lipids, body's lipids are located, no, or deposited in your subcutaneous tissue. That's why it's a good source of energy. And this one is the one you estimate if you want to measure your total body fat. Okay. This subcutaneous tissue varies with age, sex, and diet, no? So, mas maraming adipose or subcutaneous tissue ang baby. That's why they have chubby appearance, okay? Compared to adults. And also women, no? Have more adipose. Si men, more on muscle tissues yan sila. So women, we have high subcutaneous or fat tissues in our thighs, buttocks, breast. That's why we have different shape, no, compared to men. And also, um, this is the ones responsible for women why we all have different shapes, no? Yung iba mas maraming adipose tissue, yung iba konti lang. So that's why. So here are pictures of 3 different types of injections of through the skin, no? Your injections introduce certain substances, pwedeng medicines, pwedeng vaccines, no? Into your body by puncturing the skin. So first here is your intradermal injection, no? Ganun siya. It used for tuberculin skin test. When you say tuberculin skin test, this is the one when you need to test a certain medication first to know if you're allergic or not. No, you always do this sa antibiotic in the hospital before you give them. You will perform this one, no? Skin test. If the patient is allergic, no, mamumula yan. Yung wheal would be erythematous, no? It would be flushed or reddish, no? And makate, and it will spread out. So you cannot give that injection. Then you have to inform the doctor that the antibiotic is positive for the skin test, which means the patient is allergic to it. So doctor needs to find another antibiotic, no, to be given. And this actually goes into the dermis, no? It is administered by drawing the skin taut. When you say taut, that's to be stretched. And then you insert a small needle at a shallow angle into the skin, okay? Like 45, almost parallel to the skin, ang needle, no? Ang direction ng needle. Your second type is your subcutaneous. So when you say subcutaneous, this injection is intended to reach your subcutaneous tissue. So dito naman siya na layer, no? The fats. Ang usually binibigay subcutaneously is your insulin. Okay? So you pinch the skin to form a tent, parang ganito, and then you insert a short needle, no? So that will reach your subcutaneous tissue, no? And the angle probably is around 45 degrees, no? Para maabot niyo yung subcutaneous portion. The third type is your intramuscular injection. This reaches your muscle, no? Dito naman na portion underneath your subcutaneous layer. So most vaccines and antibiotics are given intramuscularly, and you do this by inserting a long needle, and you have to do a 90-degree angle, no? Para talagang abot siya pag ano, no? Aabot siya sa muscle layer. So the skin includes several types of structures that are embedded in otherwise associated within the epidermis and dermis. And this is what you call your accessory structures. These are your hair, your glands, and your nails. So let's define different kinds of hair, no? There's what you call your fur. This hair is dense and covers most of your body surface. So ano ito? Usually in your animals, okay? In humans, yung hair mo is only found on the skin except yung sa palms and soles, sa lips, sa nipples, sa genitalia, and distal segments of your fingers and toes. Usually walang hair doon, okay? There's what we call lanugo. These are delicate and pigmented hair by the 5th or 6th month of fetal development, no? Yung parang hindi pa siya colored hair. This is usually you will see more of lanugo in preterm babies, no? Yung mga premature babies that are delivered. Your terminal hair are long, coarse, and pigmented hair that replace lanugo of the scalp, eyelids, and eyebrows. And these appear near the time of birth, no, of the fetus. So as the fetus matures, lanugo is replaced with terminal hair. While your vellus hair are short, fine, and usually unpigmented, replace the lanugo on the rest of the body. Okay, your terminal hair are only on this part, your scalp, eyelids, and eyebrows. Ito yung vellus hair in the rest of the body. Let's discuss your hair structure. This is made up of a lot of parts, no? First, as the shaft. So, ito. Okay, this is the one that protrudes above the surface of your skin. And then your root is located below. So, ito siya. That's the root, no? Below your skin. Your hair bulb is the expanded base of the root. So, if you see, this is your hair bulb. Okay? So the root and the shaft are composed of columns of dead keratinized epithelial cells. These are arranged in three concentric layers, okay, which are your medulla, your cortex, and your cuticle, no? So ito siya, this is your hair bulb, ano? Your medulla is the central axis of your hair. So nasa inner, no? If this is your root, if you cut it cross-sectionally, ganito ang itsura niya, makikita mo ang medulla central, no? Centrally. These are 2 or 3 layers of cells containing soft keratin. Okay? Itong light blue portion, this part here, that's your medulla. Now, you have your cortex surrounding your medulla, itong darker, parang blue-violet. Okay? Ito siya. And they form the bulk of the hair. Okay? They contain hard keratin. While your cuticle is here. Cuticle, itong dark brown, no? Ito. This covers the cortex, so siya yung outer layer. This is a single layer of cells and contains also hard keratin. Okay? The edges of your cuticles cells overlap like shingles on a roof. No? So a hair develops and grows within each hair follicle. And your hair follicle is a tube-like invagination of the epidermis that extends into the dermis. Okay? So, this consists of a dermal root sheet. So, ito siya, dermal root sheet, this one. And an epithelial root sheet, itong or inner sheet, no? Which is covered by your dermal root sheet. At the opening of the follicle, the external epithelial root sheet has all the strata found in thin skin, no? Remember, yung thin skin mo only contains 4 strata, no? Merong isang lacking strata doon. What is that? If you still remember, no? Ano yung wala sa thin skin na stratum? But as you go deeper, okay, in hair follicle, the number of cells decrease, okay, until such time that if you reach the hair bulb, stratum basale lang ang nandoon na, no? The only stratum basale is present, okay? This arrangement of epidermal cells, no, has important consequences for skin repair. So, if the epidermis and the superficial part of the dermis are damaged, yung keratinocyte stem cells located in your stratum basale of an undamaged part, no, sa hair follicle, pwede siya ang maging source of a new epithelium. Okay? Itong internal root sheath mo naman are raised edges that mesh closely with the raised edges of your hair cuticle. So they hold the hair in place. Yeah? So when a hair is pulled out, your internal epithelial root sheath usually comes out. And you see this as whitish tissue around the root of the hair. Diba? If you pluck a hair, you see that white tissue at the end. That's your internal root sheath. Then you have your hair bulb. This is your expanded knob at the base of the hair root. And here, ito yung sinasabi ko na as you go deeper, no, the number of cells decrease until such time you reach your hair bulb, stratum basale na lang yung nandoon. Okay? So you have matrix. This is inside your hair bulb. Okay? Ito siya, matrix, which is your growth zone. Ito siya, matrix inside your hair bulb. It's a mass of undifferentiated epithelial cells. They produce both the hair and the internal epithelial root sheath. Okay. You also have a hair papilla. Okay, on this portion. Your hair papilla is found dermis of the skin projects into the hair bulb, no? These are yung dermal papilla mo na they project through your hair bulb. And this contains your blood vessels, okay? Which is now the one that supplies blood nutrients and oxygen, okay? Your arrector pili are smooth muscles associated with each hair follicle. So, when the arrector pili muscles would contract, they will pull the follicle into a more perpendicular portion, no? Kaya yung hair mo parang magsi-straighten up. So, it would stand on an end, no? This is the one that you see, no? When you have your goose bumps, no? It will straighten your hair. Normally, your hair is at a certain angle. Pero pag mag-contract itong muscle na to, it will straighten up your hair and it would look like this, no? Yung goosebumps mo. This is a common response to cold temperatures, no? Pwede rin if you experience strong emotional responses. So sa ibang animals or mammals, these contractions of your arrector pili can be for warmth, no? And also a communication of aggression or fear. Hair growth, it's at different rates, no? Even if they are in the same location, different rates yan. But approximately, it's 0.3 mm per day. Yun yung kanyang rate of growth, no? 0.3 millimeters per day. Sa eyelashes mo, and scalp hair mo, I put here, no, yung how many days ang growth stage nila and your resting stage. Kasi you have two stages of hair growth. Okay? You have here growth stage and resting stage. Ang growth stage, this is the stage where your hair increases in length. As new matrix cells are produced, differentiate, become keratinized and die. And this determines the maximum hair length. Okay? For your resting stage, this is when the hair growth stops and the hair follicles shortens. So they hold the hair in place. Okay? So ito siya, for eyelashes, yung growth stage niya would take 30 days. So it would continue to grow and then it stops for 105 days. Yung scalp hair mo, the growth is 3 years and continues and then it rests, no? Which stops growing na for 1 to 2 years. Cutting, shaving, or plucking hair will not alter the growth rate, no? Or the character of hair. But this can feel coarse and bristly shortly after shaving kasi short hairs are less flexible. Okay? Also, your maximum hair length is determined by the rate of hair growth, no? ito siya na stage. So, example, yung scalp hair mo, they can become very long because their growth stage is longer compared to your eyelashes, which is only, no, 30 days compared to growth stage ng scalp hair mo, 3 years. That's why your maximum hair length is longer for your scalp hair. So how does your hair grows in the growth stage, no? The hair grows longer as cells are added at the base of the root, okay? Eventually, it would stop, no? And then move on to the resting stage. So after naman itong resting stage, no? There would be a new cycle, no, of growth stage. So pag new cycle niya, there is a replacement of your new hair, no? Matatanggal yung old hair mo and then there's new hair coming out, okay? So in that case, yung hair loss is normal, no? Because of this. Okay? So let's talk about hair loss. No, normally yung we lose, no, hair, 100 scalp hair per day. So, ito na yung falling hair, what we call. That's the normal. But sometimes, no, it can be more extensive than the normal 100 hair per day. So, in some cases, hair loss may occur, pero yung iba, napapalitan naman. They may return. Such as in patients na nagki-chemotherapy, after the treatment, they would have their hair back, no? It would grow. But there are cases na hindi, no? For example, itong alopecia areata, which also we call your spot baldness. So as you see in the picture, no, may spot siya. These are varying degrees of hair loss that and can affect all areas of the body, no? And this is usually an autoimmune response where the defense cells of the body destroy normal healthy cells, no? That's your alopecia areata. Where there is also a pattern baldness, no? Ito siya. This is genetics naman, no? Yung hairline mo is actually inherited. This is the most common kind of permanent hair loss, and this is more common in men compared to women, but can occur in women also. So this is genetic factor, and sometimes this is due to your hormone, testosterone. So let's go to the glands of your skin. Um, there are two major glands of the skin. These are your sebaceous and your sweat glands. Your sebaceous glands are located in the dermis, and these are simple or compound alveolar glands that produce sebum. When you say sebum, these are oily white substance rich in lipids. And you also call them your holocrine glands, no? Your sebaceous glands are the ones responsible for secreting sebum onto the hair and surrounding skin, which prevents the skin from drying and it protects against some bacteria. Okay, there are few sebaceous glands that is located in your lips and eyelids, and you call them your meibomian glands, and also in the these glands open directly, no? To the skin. Kasi walang hair doon, no? So they open directly to the skin, including doon sa genital surface mo. While there are also yung sweat glands mo naman, they are also called your sudoriferous glands. There are two types of it. Your eccrine glands, also known as your merocrine glands, and your apocrine glands. No? Your eccrine glands are the most common type of sweat gland. So they are simple coiled tubular glands that open directly onto the surface of the skin through your sweat pores. So they are distributed over the majority of areas of your body. Pero mas marami sila in your palms and soles. Okay? Yung eccrine glands are not found on the margin of your lips, labia minora, your tips of penis, and clitoris. So, walang eccrine glands. These are responsible, no, for your temperature regulation. Okay? Yung sweating mo for temperature regulation. While your apocrine glands naman, they are also simple coiled tubular glands. They usually open into hair follicles superficial to the opening of your sebaceous glands. So, these are found in your axilla, in your genitalia, no, as scrotum and labia majora, including your anus. And these sweat glands, they become active, no, at puberty due to your sex hormones. Okay, they are not for temperature regulations. Okay, ito lang si eccrine gland ang for temperature regulations. So essentially, itong sinisecrete ng apocrine glands are usually odorless. Okay? But when the bacteria in our skin metabolize them, they emit a certain odor. And this is your body odor. Okay? So this is the last accessory part that I will be discussing, which is your nails. This is a thin plate consisting of layers of dead stratum corneum cells that contain a very hard type of keratin. So let's identify the parts of your nails. So the nail root is the one that is covered by your skin, and your nail body is yung visible portion. Now you have what you call a nail fold, wherein this is lateral and proximal edges of nails that is covered, no, by your skin. You also have a nail groove dito sa side. This groove holds edges of the nails in place. Now you also have a cuticle, or what you call your eponychium. This is the stratum corneum of the nail fold that grows onto the nail body. And a hyponychium, your hyponychium is the one that is beneath the free edge of the nail body. No, ilalim nito. Hyponychium yan siya. Ito. Yan. Ilalim ng free edge ng nail body mo. This is a thickened region of the stratum corneum. And then you also have your lunula, yung white portion. This is a small part of your nail matrix that is seen through the nail body as a whitish crescent-shaped area at the base of the nail. Now, your nail root, no, it extends distally from the nail matrix. So, hanapin natin yung nail matrix, this one. So, yung root mo, it extends distally pa, no? Sa nail matrix mo. This one, the location between your nail matrix, no? Nail matrix and your hyponychium, yung location na yan, is yung nail bed, no? That's your underlying nail bed. Now, the nail matrix and bed are composed of epithelial tissue, which has a stratum basale, no? So, this portion has a epithelial cells composed of stratum basale, okay? Sila ang nagbibigay ng cells that form your nail, okay? Though both contribute to the growth of the nail, yung nail matrix is thicker than the nail bed. And they produce, yung nail matrix mo produce nearly all of the nail. Now, yung nail bed is visible through the clear nail, no? It would appear pinkish because of your blood vessels and the skin, no? The dermis underneath. As the nail forms in the nail matrix, it would slide over. So it would slide over the nail bed toward the distal end of the digit. Nails grow at an average of 0.5 to 1.2 millimeter per day, no? But you notice, no, that your fingernails would grow more rapidly compared to your toenails. So your nails, unlike your hair, they grow continuously throughout life. So that means they have no resting phase.